Hello viewers, welcome back to your channel JD Ki Pathshala. On 22nd January 2024, Pradhan Mantri Mr. Narendra Modi held a high-level committee meeting at New Delhi after he came back from inaugurating the Ram Temple, and after the meeting he announced a scheme called Pradhan Mantri Suryodaya Yojna. The scheme aims to power the middle class and lower income groups houses with solar rooftop installations. Total of 1 crore installations are proposed to be done. So let's see today what the scheme is all about, what are the challenges it's going to face, and what are the likely solutions. Now, first coming to the problem, why the scheme has been announced. Is it a new scheme? The answer is no. Similar scheme was launched in 2014, whereby the government proposed to install 40 gigawatt of power, that is solar rooftop power in India by 2022. However, by 2023 December, only 11.08 gigawatt of power has been installed, and hence the scheme was proposed to be extended till 2026. That is, the target was to be achieved by 2026. And to support this, the government has announced probably this new scheme. This is required as by 2030, India would be the largest consumer of electricity in the world. As you are aware, the government has gone in for a large-scale initiative of electrifying the houses, electrifying the railways, tracks, etc., whereby the needs would go up. And for that, the traditional sources like your coal, etc., are not enough to support. And hence, the India has to look for the renewable energy sources, and solar is one such. These large-scale solar plants have been coming up across India. However, the one untapped or the one likely resource is these solar rooftop installations, which can easily generate a lot of electricity, bring down the power bills, and reduce the cost for the consumers as well as discoms alike. Hence, this scheme is likely to help the poor, unlike earlier scheme where the subsidy was available to everybody, whether rich or poor. This is also a welfare scheme going along with the other schemes like PM Yojna, Khadya Suraksha Yojna, etc. Also, this will help in connect remote locations where large-scale electricity grids are not possible or are very costly, and hence these villages are left out of the electricity. This will also help the digital initiatives and help the discoms improve their financials and the working. So what is the scheme is all about? The government has proposed, or the PM has announced, that total of 1 crore households will be provided with rooftop solar installations. This is mainly to cater to the middle class and the lower income groups. It aims to reduce their power bills as well as give them a source of income in case they use less electricity than what they produce on their rooftop, and this is likely to improve their life. So what are the details of the scheme? The scheme launch date is yet not announced. It is expected that in the coming India Energy Week at Goa, which is scheduled from 6th Feb, the launch date of the scheme would be announced, or alternately it could be announced in the budget, which is to be presented on 1st Feb. The outlay is likely to be 1 lakh to 1.5 lakh crore for the scheme over a period of time. Then the certain details like whether the individual will be paid fully or a partial subsidy, etc., are currently not available. It is expected that in the budget it would be announced in detail. Also, the nodal agency, that is REC, PFC and IRDA, have been nominated to implement the scheme. Then the eligibility criteria, though not specified, but what is emerging is that the eligibility criteria will be that it would be for the Indian citizens who have Aadhaar number, bank account, and have their own house as well as a electricity connection to that house. Then they would be required to make an application on an online portal, which is likely to be launched soon for the scheme. And that is how the scheme is likely to propose. Also, it is expected that it will be lines on the lines of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojna and such schemes which have been a success. Now, what could be the challenges in implementing this scheme, as the earlier target of 40 gigawatt has not been achieved? The first and the foremost is the awareness of the scheme, that the rooftop solar installation is beneficial to the country as well as the consumer. Then the cost. In India, at present, 1 kilowatt of solar power costs about 1 lakh rupees, or to be 85,000 rupees precise. And as you go up, the cost goes up. After a certain time, obviously the cost comes. For a common man or a poor man, this is too high a cost. Then the ease of application and allotment. However, knowing the past experience, this should not be a problem. Then the efficiency of execution. 1 crore is a huge number and it has to be spread across the country, across various states. So what is going to be the speed and ease of execution will decide on the success of the scheme. Then there are central versus state issues, as electricity is a concurrent subject. The several discoms of the states are in dire financial distress and the state's finances are also not well. Going by the previous experience, the center may ask to states to chip in a certain amount in execution of the scheme. Then the question comes of the quality of solar panels, which is a main component, and we do not produce a large number of solar panels in India. Mostly they are imported from China, France, etc. Then the availability of resources. It's going to be 1 lakh crore to 1.5 lakh crore scheme. Also, the various other components like solar panels, smart meters, trained manpower, etc. would be required in implementing the scheme, and that's going to be a challenge. However, knowing the government's penchant for implementing such large scheme, this shouldn't be a problem. Now, what could be the solutions to this problem? First and the foremost solution would be to launch an awareness campaign of the scheme among the middle class and lower middle class groups by means of TV ads, newspaper ads, digital media, and of course the volunteers. Also, the help of local bodies and NGOs could be taken to implement the schemes in various small villages and remote locations. As far as the funding is concerned, the center may chip in, states may chip in, or also the CSR funds of various companies could be used, as CSR is mandated by Company Act 2013. Also, this scheme could be linked to power sector reforms and the assistance from the center to the state power utilities. Also, this scheme could be coupled with Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojna and other such Yojna whose data and details are available. Already the beneficiaries of Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojna have the Pakka houses, bank accounts, etc., etc. And at the same time, industry capacity building would have to be done. And it's not a major issue. Indian industry has come up with such challenges with a far better success than ever. So with this as the solution, let us hope that this scheme works out very nicely. The poor benefit and the country benefits overall. So that's all for today. We'll see you in the next episode of JD Ki Pathshala. Till then, Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.